Strength through will is how we can reverse the perversion of values that have been instilled in you, in me, and all our brethren, insidiously through generations of ancestral oppression. Though it stood with as much superhuman endurance as anyone could, it left a deep impression. Invisible scars that have caused us to devolve into a state of unconsciousness so malignant, we've nearly forgotten we're not a problem to be solved. We always been the solution they seek to dissolve, with the illusion of ties that bind us to a system that blinds, of most vicious design, which is to free no man. Only together, through sharing of wisdom, can we heal the wounds of division, forever sealing that evil incision, and finally deprogram.
Welcome to the Deprogram Show. I'm your host, RMJR. We got a very special guest in the building. Some people know him by Maserati Bud. Some people know him by G-Unit Bud. What's going on, my brother?
What's happening with you?
Man, I can't complain, man. First of all, man, on the Deprogram Show, we do things a little different. We want to tap into the intellect of a person, not just their ability to do what they do, whether it's music, sports, or entertainment.
Okay.
One thing I noticed, I sit in on one of your interviews, shout out Lil Mo Films. I noticed you're an intellectual brother. So I'm going to assume that you read. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So what would be your favorite book? Just starting off.
Right now, my favorite book is Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter by 50 Cent. Came out a couple of months ago during the pandemic.
Okay. So yeah. What would be the thing you grasp most from that book?
Just small detailed things that he talk about that, as far as the character of people, or how people move, and just the mentality of a hustler, you know what I'm saying? Just things like that. And then, like the second chapter is named after my album that's coming out, Heart of a Hustler. That's the second chapter in the book. And that's the name of my album dropping on the 27th, Heart of a Hustler too.
Okay. So with that being said, you got the heart of a hustler. I'm gonna tap into what we have in our community. Between two hustlers on some corners, you have conflict, but really ends up getting resolved, and a lot of times murder in our community. What's one of the ways you think we can get past just killing each other point blank?
Coming up in our community, a lot of the murders occur from revenge killings. A lot of this stuff ain't new. You know what I'm saying? A lot of wars started in the hood maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago. And it just be revenge killings back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Generational thing. It get passed down from one generation to the next. I say that in one of my records. You know what I'm saying? A lot of it's revenge, bro. A lot of it don't be new. Don't be no new beefs. The old beefs.
So why you think we can't put aside old beefs, and then where it's just, I gotta kill you because you did something to my people? Why you think we can't really resolve that? Because that's what it seemed like.
Because it's a jungle, man. And in the jungle, it don't stop. You know what I'm saying? It's like, how can you get over it when you see this same dude who just killed your partner on Instagram bragging about it? That's hard to get over, man.
Yeah.
Or you see this dude pissing on the dude's grave, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's hard to get past. Social media done blew it up because now people can brag about what they done. Before it was just in your community. If something happened, it didn't get past, a 10-block radius. Now when somebody get killed, you can brag about it to the whole world that you did it. Self-snitching.
You say it's called self-snitching?
Right, which they call it clout chasing. You know what I'm saying? Like I said on the new record that I got called Snakes. At the beginning of the record, I say that attention is the new envy. Attention is the new jealousy. It all starts from attention now. Everybody want attention. If I'm known in the hood as a killer, I got everybody attention. Everybody fucking with me. They follow me. You know what I'm saying? Back in the days, it was about if you had the biggest chain or if you had, the nicest car, now you had the clout. Now, clout comes from, if you're a killer, you got more clout than nigga with money.
Why you think that is?
Social media, attention. People want attention. Why you think back in the days, a king wore a crown?
For that attention.
Thank you. So this been going on way long before me and you was even ever thought about. A king wore a crown and wore nice jewelry and wore and had a throne and all that made out of gold and all that. All that was for attention, clout. But now it's just blowed up on a bigger pedestal with social media, because now the whole world can see it. Not just your kingdom or your, you know what I mean? Not at one time, you can see me spread money all over the ground. You can see it happening instantly. That's why it's called Instagram. So it all boils back down to attention, bro. Why you think she went and got her body done, or he went and got his teeth fixed? Now I can get the attention that I always. Female, they like, okay, I'm pretty.
So how can we get it off attention and get us back to where we start thinking about our actions instead of just gravitating for that instant gratification?
That take therapy. That ain't gonna just come overnight, because people done got addicted to it like drugs. It's a drug now. That take therapy.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna just put a conversation. That take, you gotta sit down with somebody. It's just like getting off any other thing you gotta have it for.
So it's become more of an addiction than anything.
Of course, that's the first thing you grab your phone before you grab your toothbrush.
Yeah, we in bad shape.
Yeah, when you get up in the morning, you grab your phone before you grab your toothbrush. You grab your phone before you grab a rag to wash your face.
So do you think it's too far gone? Or because as a community, everybody ain't gonna gravitate toward getting therapy. So sometimes we got to do stuff as the Deprogram Show and like your albums, putting out therapeutic message to the people to kind of reel them in on that without them even recognizing.
Right. You gotta realize they not even aware of it. Huh?
Yeah.
They not even aware of what's going on. How can you fix something you ain't even aware that it's a problem? You can't fix something if you don't even know you don't even realize it's a problem. To you looking at it as it's a problem. But in my generation, they looking at it, it's just they everyday life. They born into the internet era. That's like you born into the automobile era. You can't see yourself getting on no horse, riding no horse from one side of town to the other, because you born with automobiles. You born in an era where they had cars. So they born in the era of the internet. So they can't see no other way in life. Huh? You know life before the internet. They don't know that. They don't know nothing about that. To them, you speaking foreign. You talking a different language.
Yeah.
That's like somebody coming from the 18th century talking about horses and carriages. You don't know nothing about that. You're gonna be like, what?
So I noticed that's a big disconnect because, like you said, I'm 38, but I'm kind of old school. So I remember when I still live in real life. I don't live on social media. So it's a hard translation to get a young dude to be like, hey, bro, you know you could get killed behind this. And he just worried about, like you said, that attention.
Right. Listen, homie, it's no difference. That's like you talking to somebody before the automobile and they was used to riding horses and they saying, don't you know you could get in a car crash and die? Don't you know it's more people die on car crashes than horse crashes? And you saying to him, man, I take my chances with the car. He's saying, man, don't you know you can run into the wall, people dying every day in accidents? When you brought up in an era, it's not a big deal to you. More people die right now in car accidents than they do getting shot.
Yeah. Man.
But you don't see nobody campaigning against cars. Because you brought up in an era, you'll take your chances with it right now. That's the same way they looking at it. Because they brought up in the era of that. So to them, it's not no big deal. Just like a car accident ain't no big deal to you.
I mean, to me, I get what you're saying, but to me, I'm thinking about it from a different perspective. I'm very cautious when I get in the car, but I get what you're saying. Like they gonna do what they do.
Bro, when they listen, don't you know at one point in time in life they had to transition from horses to cars, right?
Absolutely.
I'm just giving you an example.
Yeah, absolutely.
People who grew up riding horses didn't want to, you know, a lot of them ain't want to drive no car. They felt that's dangerous. That car doing 80, 90 miles, 60 at that time was fast. They used to doing 5 and 10 miles an hour on a horse. So people had to adjust the cars just like you had to adjust to the internet. Yeah. And airplanes and all that shit. And you know how long it took people to get up in airplanes? Come on.
Yeah.
People still, I know people right now. My mama ain't never flew in an airplane in her life. She is terrified of that.
So how can we bridge the gap? What's a way you think we could to help bridge that gap from the old and the new? Because the old got some game that they need to get to the new, as well as the new got some game.
The old got to stop ridiculing the young, bro.
Yeah.
You got to stop telling it. Listen, bro. It's the old who fucked the game up. Y'all the motherfuckers got on crack. And these the kids. These the seeds of that shit. Yeah. These ain't nothing but the kids of the motherfucking crack epidemic. It was y'all set the tone. In the 90s and 80s, they set the tone. These ain't nothing but the kids. That's why they got ADHD. That's why they got all these type of things. Because really they parents was on drugs, man. These are a lot of crack babies. That's wilding out. Yeah. The old heads don't want to take responsibility for what they done.
I mean, they got to for it to make it better. I get exactly what you're saying. Yeah.
Thinking that the black homes got fucked up in the 80s and 90s, 70s really, with the heroin and all that. Before that, in the 60s and shit, you had fathers in the households. You had two-parent homes. The 80s and 90s is when it became one-parent home. People was on drugs. Motherfucker going to prison. Yeah. So, nigga, this ain't nothing but the kids and grandkids of these motherfuckers.
Yeah, the trickle-down effect.
Okay, so how you gonna blame this young nigga? This nigga got ADHD. This nigga got all kind of shit going on, man. He done been diagnosed. He been on meds since he was a kid. Now this nigga get 15 and 16 years old, and you want to tell him to put the gun down? Come on, man.
Like
motherfucker gotta be realistic, dog.
Yeah, like you said, for one, you got to come to an understanding. Hey, this way yet. This is his world. This is what he living in. This is what he brought up in. And like you said, right. It's gonna take therapy.
It takes therapy, homie. That shit deeper than rap, dog. That shit generational curses. These beefs are beefs, even with, even when you have in gang cultures, these motherfuckers been warring for 20 years. That's from the 80s and 90s. That ain't nothing new. All they did was inherit y'all beefs and keeping it going. Y'all niggas just couldn't get exposed in the 80s and 90s. You didn't know what was going on over here in Chicago and Compton and all that at one time because you didn't have the internet.
Now
all you doing is they wars is just being broadcast, but the war's been going on forever, homie. You could just see theirs now.
Yeah.
This ain't nothing new. That's why I keep trying to figure out, like, why they keep acting like this some new shit. Shit ain't nothing new.
A lot of people just don't want to own up to them playing a part in it.
Now you talking that talk now.
Yeah.
Niggas gotta own up. The 80s and 90s old heads gotta own up and say, dog, we fucked this shit up, man. We fucked this shit up, homie.
Yeah.
Niggas don't want to admit that they fucked it up. They want to say these new niggas, and these new niggas did this, these new niggas did that. That's what they want to say. When this ain't nothing but these niggas' kids, bro.
Yeah.
The same single fatherless kids, that's these niggas' kids, bro. That's out here wilding. That's all it is.
And it's hard for a dude who didn't have his father to listen to another man.
There you go. Now you talking that talk.
Yeah.
And it's hard when a dude come from somewhere else who's not from that environment trying to scold them and tell them they wrong. When nigga like, bro, you a politician or you a lawyer or you a doctor, you not from here. You don't understand.
Yeah. Cause I do this thing called, and I see where you're coming from because I've been getting ridiculed. I do a thing called lollipop tendencies, where I'm trying to get dudes, not just young dudes, but old dudes. Look, we have to be men in order to show the young dudes, hey, this is how a man conduct himself. But right. the old dudes done drop the ball. I say, one of the things I said, if a man don't take his son to get a haircut, where the mother has to do it, he got lollipop tendencies. In
right.
the instance where I'm telling them, look, we have to show men supposed to do this and men supposed to do that, not putting the weight of the woman on the woman.
Right.
And see, that's what has happened in our community. That's why our young males are acting like women.
Right.
So until we...
Because he wasn't home.
Absolutely.
He wasn't home.
Yeah.
So now you got this dude who been around this woman all his life. He's been around women. Now he hit 21. Now you want him to be a real nigga, a man now. He don't know.
Yeah,
he can't do what he don't know.
Absolutely. Cause for one, he ain't never seen him modeled in front of him.
Right.
And it be the old heads who be getting mad at me, and I be like, bro, what is y'all on? But you just explained it. A lot of their daddies was on dope.
Right.
So it's just a continual situation.
Right. Y'all niggas act like they invented games.
Nah. I get it.
Come on now. You talking to a real one now. A nigga can't tell me nothing. These niggas ain't invent this shit. This shit ain't new. They like, oh, these young niggas killing each other. Da, da, da. Like they invented this shit. They didn't invent this shit. They inherited this shit.
Yeah.
They ain't inherit no land. They ain't inherit no motherfucking generational wealth. They inherited what the fuck these niggas in the 90s and 80s started.
Yeah.
So how you gonna blame them?
No, I mean, like you said, you can't really blame them. That's why me as a man, I'm taking accountability and saying, hey, we messed it up for y'all.
There you go. That's where the start to change at. When you niggas go to admit that y'all fucked up, then that's when you got their ill.
Yeah. Me being a 38-year-old man, I didn't do it solely, but I played a part. So I helped mess it up.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
If you go to any AA meeting to get off of any drugs or any alcohol or any addiction, what's the first thing they tell you got to do?
You got to admit it.
All right. So if you want to fix this shit, you got to admit it first.
Yeah.
That you fucked up. That's the first step. We fucked it up for y'all young brothers, man.
Yeah.
You got a nigga ill. You got anybody ill when you admit you fucked up. It could be your old lady. If you done cheated and fucked up, first thing you got to do is first admit you fucked up. Before she give you a chance, for a person give you that ear, you got to first say, look, baby, I fucked up. If you keep fighting it and motherfucker got proof that you motherfucking fucked up, we got proof for the crack. We got proof for the motherfucking drug. We got proof for the gangs. We got proof for all this shit you done fucked up. All because you niggas wanted attention back then. You wanted, you the ones first. Oh yeah, you need to buy some land and you need to do this and you need to do that. But then I look at your pictures from 84, nigga, you got on a big ass motherfucking rope chain on.
Same thing.
You telling me I'm stupid for buying a Rolex.
So they just, what you basically saying is, don't get mad at the young dudes because they just following the leads of the old head.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Who was wearing Gucci first?
Them old niggas.
Okay, nigga, we ain't started Gucci and Prada and all this shit.
Yeah.
That ain't nothing new. Them companies old as shit.
Yeah.
Oh, niggas just sitting around and niggas just spending all their money. These young niggas spending all their money on designer. What the fuck y'all spending on? I look at my uncles, them pictures. Them niggas had on everything we got on right now. They got on Kangos and all that shit. And motherfucking Gucci and Dapper Dan and all that shit.
Same thing.
They started it.
Yeah. Man, it's crazy. I'm with you. I'm with you.
One thing I'm gonna do is get it to your blood raw, bro. I can't sugarcoat it because the truth is the truth. If you want to know the truth, now if you wanna curve that shit in.
No.
Say all that other shit. But dog, these niggas ain't doing nothing but what niggas did back then. Same shit. It's just that they shit is broadcasted and y'all shit wasn't.
Yeah.
If they would have had the internet back then, them niggas would have been doing the same shit. Okay, let me ask you this question, right?
Come on with it.
You grew up in the hood, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. This shit be common sense, a lot of this shit. if I'm selling dope, right?
Okay.
And I get on the internet, right? And I got the jury on, right? And I got and I'm spreading money across my arm and all that shit, right? Right?
I'm listening. Yeah, I'm listening to you.
What was the difference between you selling dope and parking your Mercedes right there on the motherfucking main strip and out there in the motherfucking goddamn meat coat standing on the block? How the drug dealer stood out there.
Ain't no difference.
The police see you standing on the corner the same way he see me on the internet. How you think you niggas got caught? How Frank Lucas got caught with the fucking jacket on, right?
Broadcasting.
You niggas just broadcasted in a different way. But y'all didn't have the internet. But every drug dealer, as soon as he got some money, he stood up right on the same block he was selling drugs on, with the Benz parked out there, with the jury on, with everything, with the 4-finger ring standing right there on the corner. And when the police rolled by and the feds rolled by, they said, there goes such and such right there with his crew.
Facts. Yeah.
That's how most of them niggas got caught. Because they were standing out there with the BMW, with the BBSs on it.
So let me ask you this. What about the dudes who, cause in the hood, you don't always have dudes who sell drugs, correct?
Right.
What about the dudes who, hey, I see this route and I see what y'all doing. I'm finna take this other route.
He survived.
But he get overlooked. He's the lane.
No, he not.
I'm saying according to the hood mentality, because he went out there.
You say the one who sold drugs and did what?
Now the ones who didn't choose to sell drugs and the ones who, hey, I'm gonna do something different. Them the ones get overlooked. But they from the same environment.
But overlook that. What you mean when you say overlook?
It's like if I'm from the hood, but I didn't sell drugs. When I try to teach a young dude, he like, nigga, what you know? Cause he don't even think I'm from the hood.
Because you not from that environment. I mean, you didn't participate in that environment. So what do you know?
I mean, I came up in the same trenches though.
You came up in the trenches, but you didn't participate.
Because I see
you ain't got no rank. Nobody want to talk to you because you didn't participate in nothing. I ain't saying you lame. I'm just saying you wasn't a participant.
So let me hear you out. So you saying we could come up in the same conditions, but because
environment, right.
But because a person didn't participate, he don't have the same weight.
He didn't. How is he gonna have the same weight? If I ask you how to cook a brick, you can't tell me, nigga, because you wasn't participating.
True.
You knew where the dope house was at, but you wasn't in the trap.
Yeah.
So he not trying to hear nothing you got to say because you not from you not from that. You from the environment.
So it's all according to the box you in, basically. Whatever you choose to get in.
If you chose a different lane, it don't mean you a lame. No, nigga, you smart. You was able to avoid that shit.
Yeah.
But when you come talking to a nigga who is a participant and you haven't participated, y'all in two total different worlds. It's a difference between the Hall of Fame and just making it to the Pro Bowl. You made it to the Pro Bowl, but you ain't a Hall of Famer. You can't get in this line. You play football, but you're not in that. You wasn't in that lane. Though. You ain't a Hall of Famer, dog. You don't got the yellow jacket, but you play football. You've been in the NFL. You know how it feels to be in that environment. But this here a whole nother level. So you was there, but you didn't participate.
Yeah, but my thing is, this just me, and I'm speaking for myself now.
Uh-huh.
Once you see that, like, it seems like the dudes who go and do 20, 30 years from being in that environment, or maybe a little time, that's when they snap into it and be like, oh, now I get it.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to tell you is, it's all in how you articulate yourself too. It's all in how you, like I tell people all the time, bro, when you were small and somebody gave you a Tylenol, you didn't want that shit. You spit that shit out. But if they gave you a Flintstone pill, you took it. It's the same. It's the same medicine. It's just a different taste. You giving it to them too bitter. So you might have a dude that went and did 20 years who might come back talking to the youth. He from that world, and but how he articulating himself is making these niggas say, man, look, bro, don't be coming like you putting down on a nigga. All that talk. So he don't know how to give it to him in Flintstone. He's still giving it to him like a Tylenol. They spitting it out. They don't want to hear that shit.
So it's all about the presentation.
It's always about the presentation. Why you think people go to different churches and deal with different pastors? Because they can take it from him better than they can take it. How he delivering his message, it's the same message. If you're a Christian or whatever denomination you is, everybody got a different preacher that they mess with because of how he articulated and give it to them. Yeah. That's why people got different churches. Same religion, different preachers, because I like how he delivered. So it's the same thing in the streets. If you're trying to give knowledge to a young cat, it's all in how you bring it. If you bringing it like you putting down, now they feel they going in defensive mode because this generation is a lot more sensitive. They can't take certain words and certain things and certain ways how you come. Like you say, they grew up with single family homes with their mamas. So at the end of the day, any little thing, they snap. Or they feel like they ain't feeling your vibe, they snap.
Yeah.
I done got in situations out here, you know what I'm saying, in the studio, just because I'm not from here. I'm not from Atlanta. So I'm coming from Miami. So I done been in the studio with cats, young cats, whatever. And niggas feel some type of way at the beginning. They might see me wearing designer, this and that, feel like, oh, he's trying to shine on the nigga, da-da-da. And then I have to explain it to him and break it down to him, and then we down about to fight. Because I got to let these niggas know, yo, I'm from that shit you from.
Yeah.
Like, nigga, don't let this shit fool you. And then how I articulate myself and how I come to them. Now we best of friends. Now these niggas love me like I grew up with them their whole life because they had to understand, oh, nah, this nigga from where I'm from. And it didn't get violent. It didn't have to get violent because of how I articulated myself and how when I brought it, niggas know, okay, they respected how I brought it. Now all these niggas cool with me, niggas best of friends now. And it could have went a whole nother route if I wouldn't have knew how to handle myself. You get what I'm saying? Because these young cats sensitive.
So let me ask you this. How old are you?
28.
Okay, so what happened in your life to turn the switch on? Because I see the switch has been turned on.
I was raised by my daddy and my mom.
So you always had stability.
I always had stability. I was one of them niggas that my daddy was a gangster. You feel me? So at the end of the day, he tried to keep me away from that shit. But sometimes that shit just be in your blood like a pit bull, man. Like if he a pit, he a pit. So I found my way to the streets. Cause my grandma and them stayed in the Poker Bean Project. Like my family stayed in the hood. We stayed probably like 10 minutes from the hood. But you know, every day I'm going around my grandma's house. I'm going to the city. I'm hanging in the ghetto. I was born and raised in Little Haiti. When I was 12 years old, my mom and them moved to a better situation. But, you know, I stayed right across the street from the gambling house in Little Haiti with the Haitians and all that wild shit. So I grew up around it. You know what I'm saying? And I chose the streets. And when I decided to choose the streets, my daddy like, if you're going to choose the streets, then shit, let me show you the right way then, if you're going to do it. And to this day, I ain't got no felony on my record, period. I done got in trouble. I done got arrested before a couple times for serious crimes, but I always took everything to the door. My daddy always told me, nigga, if you're going to do it, take it to the door. You don't cop no pleas, no nothing.
So what advice would you give to the dudes who say, hey, man, I'm going to go and cop this plea? Since you was taught the right way, because I ain't from that. I'm from that environment, but I ain't no street dude. So give some dudes some advice on that.
Bro, once you choose that side of the fence, that's where you at. Like I would, once you commit, you committed, bro. Like I was taught, man, like I had Cody Fins. I had 2 attempted murders. I beat him. I took him to the door. Me and my Cody Fins. Ain't nobody fold, nobody broke, nobody fold or bent. But at the same time, I knew the dudes who I was with. I knew what type of dudes they was. I knew they was solid. You feel me? We was young as shit, but we hadn't done a lot of shit. My thing is this. If a dude want to cop a plea, that's in his best interest, then he got to do that. If that's what he feels is in his best interest. I ain't talking about snitch. I'm talking about, you know, if he cop out. But what I'm saying is, I feel like I was always taught, once you done chose that life, you know what come with that. It's only 2 things that come with that. Either death or prison. And to me, I was thinking one day to myself, I say, once you done chose to be in the streets, you saying fuck everybody at that point. You saying fuck my mama, fuck my kids, fuck my family, fuck everything. Because you saying this some deep shit. And a lot of niggas, this shit gonna open a lot of niggas' eyes because they opened my eyes one day. I say, man, I'm saying fuck everybody. Because you finna hurt everybody. If you go to prison, you finna hurt your mama, you finna hurt your son, your kids, you finna hurt your girl, you finna hurt everybody. If you die, you finna hurt your mama, you finna hurt everybody around you, finna be affected by that. But you got so much to prove to these niggas till you saying, fuck them all. I got to show these niggas I'm that nigga.
Yeah.
Whether you notice or not, dog, that's what you saying. Because you know what come with that. I'm liable to die or I'm liable to get 1,000 years in prison. You saying, fuck everybody who really love me. I got to prove to these niggas I'm a gangster. You think when your son coming to that prison or your son coming to that graveyard, he give a fuck about how gangster you was? You think he want to hear your homeboys telling him stories about, you know, your daddy was the real one. You know, your daddy shot. You know, he don't want to hear that shit. He want his daddy.
Yeah, them
He don't
facts.
give a fuck if his daddy was a buster. He don't give a fuck if his daddy was a real nigga. He want his daddy. He don't want to hear no fucking war stories.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
That little kid, when he fucking 7 years old, 8, 12 years old, you think he want to hear every time his daddy name brought up, yeah, you know, your daddy was real G. He was a real, he don't care about no real G shit. And if you don't grow up without your daddy, you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah, I can attest to that. My father was in my life. He passed when I was 14. But I understand being at that age, not having a father. So I wasn't trying to hear all the stuff that he did, even though I was, yeah.
So I'm speaking directly to you then.
Yeah.
So when you out here and you thugging and you doing what you doing, you saying fuck everybody, bro. This the shit niggas gotta hear. This the shit that's gonna change niggas' minds and how niggas perceive shit. You saying fuck everybody, homie. Cause the first one gonna be crying over the casket is your mama and your sisters and your kids and everybody who you so-called give a fuck about.
But choosing that life, are you saying basically you just care about nothing but you and your attention?
You a selfish motherfucker. Street niggas is the most selfishest niggas in the fucking world. We selfish as shit, bro. Cause you saying fuck everybody. It's about me proving to everybody else that I'm a real nigga. And I'm standing on this shit. And if I gotta die to prove to these motherfuckers who I am, to hurt you motherfuckers, I don't give a fuck. That's what your actions are saying. Your mouth might be saying, I love my mama, I love everybody. But your actions is saying, fuck everybody.
And that's the true definition of action speaking louder than words.
Facts.
Yeah.
You selfish. That shit hit me one day, bro. And that's why I started doing the music, because I'm like, bro, I got to figure out a way, bro. I'm being selfish as shit. Because, dog, as soon as I get in trouble, who running down there? My mama. Who trying to get up the lawyer? My mama now.
Mm-hmm.
My girl.
The people who really care about you.
Man, fuck that shit.
Yeah, man. You laid down. You laid it down the way it need to be laid down, man.
That's how these niggas gotta get it, dog. And a lot of niggas ain't gonna wanna receive it, but when they sit down, one thing about me, dog, that shit might hit you off top like, damn, I ain't never thought of that. Some niggas gonna buck. Man, fuck what that nigga talking about. But when that nigga get to himself, or when that nigga get behind the bars or whatever happens, boy, that nigga gonna be like, boy, that's some real shit, boy. I'm saying fuck everybody, dog. To prove to some niggas that I'm that nigga.
So let me ask you this. To do that, to have that mind frame, to go all the way, do they really believe they that dude? Or are they trying to convince themselves as well?
They trying to convince themselves and everybody around them. Tell me, dog. I'm from that shit, dog. I done seen it a million times. Dog, most of the time, the nigga that do all the shooting really was the sucker growing up. I'm telling you how it go, bro. The nigga who be the wildest nigga when he hit 19 and 20 really was the sucker growing up at 13 and 14. Because the nigga at 13 and 14 who really was wilding and doing all that shit, at that age, by the time you hit 19 and 20 years old, you a made man in the hood. Everybody know what you want.
So you ain't even got to do all that.
You not doing it. You got the niggas who trying to prove they something to you now. That's who crashing out.
It's a cold game.
But you know how many girls I done seen say, man, this nigga, oh yeah, he wild and he this and that, and my boyfriend, he crazy. And we be like, nigga, around us, he a straight pussy. Round niggas, he will put around you, he gotta go crazy and do a round up, he slap nigga in the mind. It's the truth. Am I lying? You probably know that much.
Yeah, facts. Them be the
Yeah,
send out.
he be a stone cold crazy man, beating his old lady out, doing all kind of crazy shit. And we be like, him? Man, I remember when niggas used to beat his ass all through school.
Yeah.
That be the nigga who used to get bullied, who tired of really getting bullied. Now when he hit a certain age, he like, man, I'm fuck this shit. I'm tired of this shit. Man, all right, man, next nigga try, I'm killing. Fuck that.
And them be the main send outs.
Man, them be the niggas terrorizing shit.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. I done seen that shit a million times. He the terrorist.
Man. So I know you got some songs. For you to be this top heavy, I know you got some songs on the album where you breaking it down to them dudes, man.
I got to. It's only right. My album ain't like that album that's out right now. Mainstream or what you saying, independent. Hey man, this don't sound like nothing what these niggas doing. I gotta get to them blood raw on it. You feel me? I'm taking it all the way there on a lot of songs. It's 13 tracks on there. It's hosted by DC Young Fly. Shout out DC Young Fly. He hosting the album. DC Young Fly ain't never host nobody album.
So let me ask you this. Since you mentioned DC Young Fly, I'm pretty sure you follow the 85 South show, right?
Yes, sir.
So I know you heard about the controversy with Rick Ross walking out. So I like how they played it. They didn't even get offended. They just tapping into it.
DC Young Fly, real street nigga. He from the streets, from the west side of Atlanta.
So he understand what time it is.
Yeah. When I met DC was going through a lot of shit. DC had cases, open cases and all kind of shit at the time when I first met him.
So you met him before all the fame then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and him now had these same talks, which we having right now. Yeah. Real shit. He'll tell you. Me and him we talk like this for 2-3 hours. And I'm telling him, like, bro, you gotta chill, you gotta relax. Do the comedy. Fuck that street shit.
Yeah. So, like you said, man, it take a street cat to really reach a street cat.
That's the only way it go, bro. Rocket scientists talk to rocket scientists. They don't talk to the motherfucking janitor. Ain't nothing wrong with being a janitor, but a rocket scientist ain't gonna sit there and have a conversation with for 2 hours with no janitor because he don't know. They in 2 different lanes, 2 different worlds. Rocket scientists have conversations with other rocket scientists. So that's common sense.
Man. Cause you get a lot of dudes, man. That's why I titled the show the Deprogram Show, because we've been programmed to, hey man, just let them crash out. Now get to
because that's what a nigga did to them.
Yeah.
Nigga let them crash out. So they like, fuck it. He need to, I said it at the beginning. They be feeling like you need to experience the shit we experience.
And some of them don't never recover from it. They end up, like you said, all the way in the grave.
Bruh. All the way. They say, oh, this nigga Tekashi, like they talk about the Tekashi 6ix9ine, oh, he snitched this. Nigga, snitching ain't new.
On the Little Mo Films interview, I ain't gonna give him too much, but you stated that Judas was basically the original snitch.
Right. Stop me when I tell a lie.
I can't stop you on that, because when you said it, I was like, man, I ain't never think about it from that perspective, but it's 100% truth.
Right. So why we acting like it's new? Because Tekashi did it.
But what's crazy, you also said, you stated that how it's acceptable now. Like that's the new thing. And I'm like you. I ain't no street cat, but I was taught, if you gonna sign up for that, be all the way. Don't play with it. So that's why I'm like, I don't want that. So I'm gonna go on over here.
Right. But you gotta let him in the circle for him to snitch on you, right?
Absolutely. Cause they
Jesus
can't get
okay, well, Jesus had to let Judas in the circle, right?
for him to tell the information.
There you go. That's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. A lot of this stuff is common sense, man.
But
you got to let him in for him to be able to tell. They had to let Tekashi in, right?
Yeah, because he couldn't have got no information if they ain't let him in.
Thanks.
So basically, why y'all mad at him?
I got a partner right now. Been down for 23 years, dog. Big Keith. Shout out to Big Keith. Big Keith, Cody Fender snitched on him, told on him, right?
Mm-hmm.
On the robbery.
Okay.
Keith talked to his Cody Fender. The nigga who told on him, he been out of jail. He probably did 3 years.
So he still talk to him to this day?
Yeah. This shit, the same way you feel just now, that's how I felt when he first told me that shit. I say, bro, you talk to this nigga to this day, bro. You still, this nigga told on you, got you 2 life sentences on. He say, man, he say, the nigga send me money. He been sending me money every month since I've been in prison all these years. He say, every month, this nigga don't miss. And he send me money every month. I say, man, fuck that nigga money, man. That nigga got you 2 life sentences. You know what that nigga told me? He told me the realest shit out. That nigga say, Bud, I knew the nigga wasn't built like that when we went on the lick. That's my fault for even letting the nigga in the car with me. It ain't his fault.
That's a man right there.
That's some real shit, bro.
Yeah.
He said, I knew the nigga wasn't the street nigga from day one. I knew he wasn't built like that. I'm the one made the nigga talk, come on, made him right. I pushed the nigga up to do the shit with me, bro. So when he told on me, it really wasn't his motherfucking fault. I take all responsibility for it. And that's the thing. A lot of these niggas know these niggas ain't built like that.
Yeah, you said a mouthful right there. And you got, that's a real one right there, 100%.
You know this nigga ain't built like that, bro. You grew up with this nigga. You done seen this nigga do sucker shit. Not even sucker shit, just he ain't that. You know that. Everybody in the hood know who what, bro.
Them facts.
Now, it's up to you to overlook it and say, come on, my nigga, drive. Because the nigga got a car or something, or because you know you can make him do it. Or you know he the type of nigga, you hear a push button, he ain't gonna turn you down because he look up to you. So you take advantage of the fact that he look up to you and you make the niggas go on the cape. You make the nigga go on the caper with you or the lick or spin the block with you. And now you get jammed up or something happen. Now the nigga fold. Now you want to say you're a pussy nigga, you're a fuck nigga, but you knew from day one he really wasn't built like that.
Yeah.
And that shit changed my whole perspective on shit. I say, boy, keep, boy, that's some real shit you said, homie. That takes some real motherfucking stepping up to the plate, being real with yourself. That's called being real with your motherfucking self.
Absolutely. So it's safe to say a snitch just basically show who they being the whole time.
He wasn't built like that from day one.
Yeah.
You know it. We, like you say, you grew up in the hood. You didn't participate, but you know who was who and what was what.
Absolutely. Yeah, this conversation was definitely needed because there's a lot of people need to hear the real, and it ain't no way around it. Like you say, you ain't even got to be in that, but you know, because I be sitting on the sideline, I be like,
it's just like when you watch Boys in the Hood, when what his name got out the motherfucking car. Trey. Cube knew he wasn't built like that. So if they would have got caught up, they would have did the shit he stayed in the car, they would have got caught up, and he would have told, who the fuck fault is that? Trey or Ice Cube?
Cube.
Exactly. That's why he said let him out, because he knew the nigga wasn't built like that. He knew the nigga was just emotional at the time and jumped in there because his friend got killed, because Ricky got killed.
Yeah.
It's been times a nigga will finna spin, and I done told certain niggas, dog, go home. Niggas that co-sign that, niggas that stamp that right now. Nah, Bud told me to go home, bro. Nigga trying to get in the car, I'm like, nah, bro, you ain't, going on home, my nigga. That's real, nigga.
Yeah.
I got niggas that'll jump on here right now and tell you, bro, yeah, that nigga made me go home, bro. Told me, nah, chill out.
Cause you
and
knew.
we got, homie, and we got caught. And the nigga come back to me now and say, bro, I'm glad you told me not to go that day, bro. We went to do the shit and got caught and ain't come back home till a year later, dog. And the nigga come to me right now as a grown-ass man and say, bro, my nigga, I appreciate it, bro. My nigga, that was some real shit, bro. I'm glad my nigga I ain't go with y'all niggas that day, bro. I knew what he was built like. I ain't saying the man was no sucker, but at the end of the day, I knew that wasn't for him.
Yeah. Cause you ain't gotta be no sucker not to know, for you to see, hey man, this ain't your thing.
This ain't your thing, bro. Going on to the crib.
Yeah.
He get the call the next day. Well, Bud done got caught. Boy, them niggas, they fucked up. He like, damn, that nigga saved my life, bro. I'm getting in that car.
Yeah. Cause I done seen it, bro. Like testifying to what you saying, I done seen it to where dudes done got killed or they done went to the penitentiary and they snitch or whatever. And I be like, bro, he ain't never been on that.
There you go. I'm trying to tell you, bro. It happens every day. It happens every day, bro. So none of this, but I'm saying that basically none of this shit is new, dog.
Just a repeat cycle.
It's just a cycle, dog.
Man, I appreciate you for being on the Deprogram Show, man. What you want to
Yes,
leave
sir.
with? Drop the people your Instagram, all your social media.
Man, my Instagram, Bud Real 100 on Instagram, a Maserati Bud, Facebook, YouTube, Maserati Bud, G Unit Bud, on all music platforms, G Unit Bud, man. Y'all fuck with me, man. I got the album dropping on the 27th. It's gonna be crazy, man. DC Young Fly hosting it. It's tight, man. I got a lot of features on there. You know what I'm saying? But mainly it's all me. The features is mostly singers. But I'm doing all the rapping. I ain't want no features on there. I ain't want no rappers on there. I want the people to hear me. They need to hear what I got to say.
So let me ask you this last question, music question.
Yeah.
Did you get DC on there to sing? Cause DC be blowing too.
Nah. DC just hosting it, man. Between songs, he just talking. Nah, I ain't get him to sing. I ain't singing on there. But I got some dope singers on that though. Some up and coming people, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's basically me, man. I'm hitting on the streets. I'm hitting on relationships. I'm hitting on just spiritual cleansing, all that on the album.
So have you ever thought about doing a song with somebody like the Goody Mob or somebody like that? One of the members of the Goody Mob?
Goody Mob?
Yeah. Cause they on the same type of time you on.
They more conscious though.
Hey, believe it or not, you conscious too, whether you put it in the music or not.
I'm conscious. I ain't never knew that. You the first person to tell me that.
Man, come on, man.
I swear to God, you the first person that ever told me I'm conscious.
Like, think about it. All conscious means is being aware.
Oh, that what that mean?
Yeah, that's it. Just being aware.
My thing is, hello?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. My thing is, I be just speaking from experiences. Like, I be thinking conscious people, they be speaking from theory.
Nah.
I be speaking from experiences. See, it's a difference between, well, when you get in trouble, the first thing you learn in court is you can never argue a fact. You can never argue a theory with a fact. I'm giving you facts. When a nigga come around me with theory, you don't stand a chance because that's some shit you ain't got no proof of that shit. This some shit you just feel.
you think is right. When I'm giving you these stories, this shit documented. When you look my name up, these cases are documented in black and white. This shit is fact.
Yeah.
So a lot of cats that come up to me who I be feeling like on some conscious shit, and they be coming up to me with all these theories and shit. I'm like, bro, you never gonna win arguing a theory with a fact. These boys' daddies and shit grew up in prison. I mean, was in prison and on crack for real. Them are facts.
Yeah. My dad and mom never went to prison, but I dealt with the crack epidemic with my parents doing it, so I'm with you on that.
You know what I'm saying? Bro, all my aunties, a lot of my aunties and uncles was on drugs. My best friend, them mamas was on crack and shit. Like, I grew up around that shit. So at the end of the day, I witnessed that shit. I used to have to give my homeboy my shoes to wear to school because we went to 2 different schools. And sometimes I get him my clothes to wear because people ain't seen me wear because we go to 2 different high schools.
Yeah.
So I know how that shit feels.
But yeah, man,
You know
the Gunit mob, they just like you. Like they come with facts just as. That's why I asked you, hey man, you might want to tap into them since you down there in the A.
I might need to.
And hey, link in with me. I got a direct line with them with Big Rube.
I need to let them hear the music so they can know exactly where I'm coming from.
Absolutely.
Let me know.
All right. So what you want to leave the people with, man, before we get up out of here?
Success is the best revenge.
Say that again.
Success is the best revenge.
Say no more. This is the Deprogram Show. It's RMJR with Maserati Bud, aka G Unit Bud. Go get that album. When it's dropping again?
December 27 on all platforms, man.
And what's the name of it before we leave?
Heart of a Hustler Reloaded.
Absolutely. Man, I appreciate you. And keep doing your thing, my brother.
So,